Well, I haven't done a video for a while. Stuff's been going on around here. Couple things. Let's see now. What was it? Oh, yesterday I finally got my Explorer back from the. I've got a 2006 Ford Explorer, and I got it back yesterday from the transmission shop, A1 Transmission. And weird thing was, I took it in on Wednesday. No, I took it in. No, yes, it was. I took it in Thursday morning. Is what it was. Last week, Thursday morning. I went ahead and what happened the day before that was Wednesday. I just gotten back from the doctor. I drove the Explorer, no problem. Drove out there and back. It's about about 20 minutes away from here and back, so not a whole lot of distance. So, and then the next morning, I go to put it in gear. It just goes back and forth, doesn't go in gear. I mean, it'll go like a neutral, but none of the drive gears will work. So, I left it with them Thursday morning, and I finally got it back yesterday, which is Wednesday. It took them a long time to diagnose it. They said, well, 3 or 4 hours. Well, that took about 2 days. And they aren't open on the weekends either, so that was another thing. They're only open 5 days a week. So they looked into it, and what it was is 5 years ago, I had them rebuild that transmission. And I started looking at it, and I said, wait a second, that's right, we did build it. Said, and this thing is really clean. I says, yeah, I know, because it's only got 3,000 miles since I rebuilt it on it. And they said, oh my God, yeah. So they looked into it, and sure enough, the torque converter was, he said, like I said, that torque converter should have lasted longer than 3,000 miles. And so I said, yeah, you had a bad torque converter in there. So I said, okay, how much is it damaged? Because I had to put a new torque converter in. And they said, oh, we just charge you parts. We're going to eat the labor on that one. I said, huh? I said, that's got to be $1,000 labor. He said, no. He said, it was defective. It was a defective part. We put it in. So we stand behind everything we do. And we will not go ahead and charge you labor. We'll just charge for a new torque converter, and that's it. So that's what it was. It was $538 or something like that. And so yeah, what it should have cost me if they put the labor charge in, it would have been about $1,500. And he said, yeah. And I showed him the other receipt I had for $2,500 and something, 5 years ago when I had it done. And he said, yeah, $2,500. He said, that same engine, if we had to rebuild that now, prices are so damn high. He said, it would cost $4,000 now. I said, oh, God. So I'm glad. I'm glad it was just a torque converter and that they put it together. But at least they stand behind all their work, so that was a good deal. And a couple weeks before that, I've had new tires put on it. So I figured, well, I got to get it fixed. And my daughter keeps saying, oh, just sell it as is, whatever. I said, no, I'm not going to sell it as is. I said, I might only be driving maybe another 2 years before my eyesight's so bad I can't drive. So why should I go ahead and get rid of it? I said, sure, I got 4 vehicles, but they all run, and they get me from one place to the other, so, except for my, of course, M37 over here. It does run, but it's not registered or anything. So, anyhow, so I said, well, and that's just it. I said, big deal. I mean, if I try to buy another new car, the cheapest I can find one is like $35,000. I said, I ain't gonna blow no 35 grand in a car. That's just plain nuts. So, anyhow, that's what I've been doing. That was over there, and then, well, the other problem I have is I have to get into my Mercury because the window on the driver's side decides it doesn't want to go up. It's all the way down. So I've left it all the way down. So it's summertime and it rained only a couple of times. And so I've got to get into that thing too, which I really don't want to do. And then the M37, I'm starting to do uprights for the sideboards. I did go ahead and cut some wood, but I have cut some planks Let's see, which one was it? I cut these down. So I'm going to use these. And yes, these are used. These are not brand new. As you might think, these are fence boards. So they'll be going up like this on the side. So yeah, of course I've got to get a longer one, but anyhow, they're going to be up here like this. And actually, it's probably down lower. I have two of them, probably one there and then one up here. So just for sideboards. Doing that. Yeah, and then before I worked on the Explorer, I figured, well, maybe it's a cable, you know? So I took the console apart even. Let's see here if I can get in here. So I had to go in and take this console out, and I mean everything. I had to take that whole center thing out. And there's hidden bolts in there and other places on there. Some guy says, oh, you can just take the side panel off and get to it. Well, I took that one off and I still couldn't see it. So I said, well, forget it. I'll just take the whole thing off. So I've had this whole thing apart already once to see if it was a cable. Nope, solidly attached. Either end is perfect. They use like a kind of like a grommet on both sides to hold them in. And they were both perfect. They weren't worn out or anything. So yeah, so it's been kind of weird. And then, but it still runs fine. And I'm not about to get rid of it. It's not falling apart. So I'm not going to do what my daughter said. I'm not getting rid of it. Same with my Mercury. Okay, it's the paint's starting to go and all that on it. But I'm not going to get rid of it. Why should I? I mean, this thing's, actually this Mercury's had more stuff happen to it. I mean, it had well, it was a steel tube garage that fell on it. The snow actually collapsed it on top of this thing. I knocked a dent out on the top, and it's at the back end, but you can't hardly see it. It did tear up the front here a bit on the down below, and there's a windshield wiper, but I got that, fixed that up, and it was kind of weird. I never had that happen before. But see, this window is, it's down all the way, and I got to find a way to get that up. And then after this one went out, the back one went out. Now the ones on the other side work fine, go up and down fine. But it's this one here and that one there. So I got to take both panels off of those to get those. Probably had a cable probably snapped or something in there. So yeah, all kinds of fun here. And this project here is. Well, it's still there. It still runs. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm going to try to finish the back end first before I do anything else. And again, everybody says, oh, just sell it, sell it. I said, no, I'm not going to sell it. Shoot. I got enough work into it and I'm not going to bother with it. My daughter said, well, you can clear out your garage. I said, yeah, right. Well, big deal. So here it sits. But and then I got my F-150 out there too, and it still runs like a top. I mean, no problem with it. Like I said, the farther back, the older you get, the better they are, really. So, anyhow, that's what I wanted to show you today. Here I am in my backyard. Notice the fruit all over the ground. Oh, yes, of course. We have to have Chubby in here somewhere. What are you doing, Chubbs? You find the squirrel? Huh? You find that squirrel yet? He's looking for the squirrel. Yeah, sniffing all around. What? Still runs around like a puppy. 12 years old. Goofball. But, yeah. And my fruit just keeps falling. I mean, I've packed up bags and bags of it, and I just still more and more coming. I had to go ahead and prop up that one peach tree down there because it had so much the branches were going to break, so I had to stick my 16-foot step ladder under it to hold it up until some of the fruit came down. But yeah, this is a nectarine here. That's a peach tree. Next one over is an Asian pear. Next to that one's another peach tree. And one down the end is an Italian plum. What? What are you barking at me for? Whoa. What? What's your problem? Huh? Oh, shush. Oh, shush. Shush. Good boy. There you go. All right. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on around here. See you guys later. Bye.